After the honeymoon, the Emperor and the Lord Commander went back to work. Fortress World in the Paradiso sector. They discussed taking the fight to the enemy at the frontier of the eastern fringes. The Eldar and the Tau are ready to support if needed. Jaune advised that they need to replenish their forces. Emps was thinking until he had an idea after getting in touch with another version of himself. Emps, I have a good idea where to get more help. Jaune, I'm all ears, father. Emps took his sword from Jaune and slashed open a rift in reality. Emps, walk forward, and if you meet another you, just say we need his help. Jaune, what are you on about? Emps, trust me. He walks through to find another version of himself talking to another. Father? Big E. Well, it seems we have a long-awaited visitor. Jaune Sanguinius, you were expecting me? Big E. Yes, indeed. And let me do this. He went over to him and gave him a hug. Big E. I love you, son from another world. For you to lay down your life for me. I never had such a loyal son like you. After the hug, the Emperor made a note to hug his version of Sanguinius. He then turned to his other self. Jaune Astartes. What is this, grandfather? Jaune Sanguinius. Grandfather? Big E. This version of you, my son, is the son of Robert Guilliman and Ivrain Guilliman. Jaune Sanguinius went green and looked away. Big E. It's gonna be okay, they're their son. Jaune Sanguinius. Being related to him is already a form of heresy to me. Jaune Astartes. What? Big E. Let's just say Robot did some things that made things better and worse, but yeah. Jaune Astartes shrugs. Big E. So you're here to ask for reinforcements? Well, with galactic peace all over the Imperium, I can spare this new legion. The XXI Legion, the Arc Knights. 500,000 Marines. Jaune Sanguinius. How in the world is your Imperium peaceful? Big E. Well, I dealt with the problem before you know what happened. Jaune Astartes. What are you talking about? Big E. Nothing to worry about. Grandson, prepare your legion. You have an important mission, and it will be really difficult. Jaune Astartes. Understood. We will be victorious. Jaune Astartes. He is another me, but why does he have wings? Big E. He is the reincarnate of your uncle Sanguinius. He looks to his other self. Jaune Astartes. Really? Jaune Sanguinius. Yes. I have been reborn in a sense. Let's talk about it later. For now, we need your help. Jaune Astartes. I'll gather my forces. Big E. Do you need some of the Astra Militarum? Jaune Sanguinius. One Space Marine Legion is more than enough. Father from another world. Big E. Okay then, I'll tell your family that I sent you on a mission. Jaune Astartes. They'll be thrilled to hear it. He then summoned his sons for a great crusade. Jaune Astartes. My sons, we are about to embark upon a great crusade. We will face alien, demons, and traitors alike. You will not fear. You will not falter. You will deliver the Emperor's will. The Space Marines raise their fists. Jaune Astartes, forward. They all marched towards a huge portal made by the two emperors from two worlds, back to the Sanguinius universe. Jaune's brothers were all gathered for a retaliatory strike at Chaos. Robot and Lion were handling the battle at Segmentum Ultramar and was on call. Robot. Do you know why Father summoned us here? Vulcan. It was a surprise, Bruta. Magnus. Knowing him is gonna be bonkers. Lion, do you really think that low of Father? Magnus. You weren't around when he was explaining how our universe and he came to being. It was mind-blowing. Lehman was still grumbling after being scolded about being easily fooled by Horus. Corvus was minding his own business, brooding. Then the massive portal opened, and all of them were all on guard until Sanguinius walks out. Robot. Sanguinius? What did Father ask you to do? Jaune Sanguinius. Find reinforcements. Magnus, how? Most of the loyalists are already accounted for. Then Jaune Astartes walks out followed by his legion. Robot. What in Throne's name? Emps came back from opening the portal. Emps. He is my grandson, and your son from another universe, where we didn't have the you-know-what heresy. Dorn. Father, we have finished fortifying the Eastern Front. Emps. Everything is set. Magnus. So we didn't separate, everyone is alive, and Papa Smuff is a father. Well, that is a degree of warp fuckery. Jaune Astartes. This is certainly confusing. Why does Uncle Magnus have wings and more horns? Jaune Sanguinius. You'll get used to it. Emps Jaune. The two looked at him and respond with a yes. Corvus. Well, that is a conundrum. Emps. Alright, we have to come up with a way to address you two without it turning into a running gag. Dorn. Since that version of Sanguinius is your grandson, why not call him Boy, Vulcan, and call the other Johnny, Emps? Alright, from here on I will address you as Boy. My little grandson. He scoops up the Astartes and hugs him. Boy. This is so weird. Jaune, yes. Yes, it is. Magnus was inspecting the new Marines. Magnus. Since they have Eldar genes, they have the ability to be psychers. Boy, yes, but mostly psychic defense. The psychers form the librarian divisions. Magnus. Interesting. Lion. I find it appealing that they have that knightly aesthetic to them. And what is their legion name? Boy, Legion XXI, Arc Knights. Corvus. Hey, nephew? Boy. Yes, uncle? Corvus. When we have the time, can we talk about birds? Boy. Same old Uncle Corvus. Sure. Lehman looked him up and down. Lehman, you look tough, a little bit of your uptight father, but still, you seem to be good. Jaune. Alright everyone, it's time to take the fight to the enemy. They all began the war meeting. With the Emperor's return, he will re-establish morale upon the masses. He will go to battle after battle to reinvigorate the troops and the people. Robot and Lion will deal with Mortarion and his plague marines at Ultramar. The Eastern Front will be under Sanguinius, Astartes, Magnus, Corvus, and Vulcan's jurisdiction, while defense will be relegated to Dorn. The Angelus Crusade has begun.